Atomic Heart might be one of the most misunderstood games of the last few years. When Atomic Heart launched, a lot of the conversation focused on controversy, bugs, and mixed reviews. I had no idea this game even existed until a friend of mine recommended I play it, and after finally playing through the complete experience, including the DLC, I think you are an idiot if you don't give this game a chance. So today, I'm giving you 10 reasons why I think Atomic Heart deserves a spot in your backlog. Let's start with the obvious. Atomic Heart is one of the best looking first-person games I have ever played. The environments are packed with detail, the lighting is fantastic, and the art direction makes almost every area feel unique. Whether you're exploring underground laboratories or walking through massive Soviet-inspired facilities, there's always something interesting to look at. It is a game that constantly makes you stop and admire the world. And I know a great looking game isn't the only thing needed to make a great game, which leads to the next topic, the story. Without spoiling anything, Atomic Heart tells a shockingly interesting story. It starts off feeling pretty straightforward, but as you learn more about the world, the characters, and what's actually happening behind the scenes, it becomes much more engaging. I played through the game on Armageddon or hard difficulty, and even when I was struggling with certain areas, I never felt like the pacing was too slow. It definitely felt rewarding to finally get to the next cutscene.
What the fuck is taking you so long? Choke on your pesticides, fuckbag. That's it. Smoke break.
Did you find the container? I'm out of PA 400. If we don't figure out something soon, we're toast.
Take it easy, pal. I found it. Look down there. There's your container. You got any idea what it took to get it here?
Shit! Not like that. That won't kill it. You were supposed to blow it up.
Damn it. What do we do now? It's awake.
We gotta ignite the polymer. Give me your cigarette.
You can ignite polymer with a cigarette?
This one, yeah. Die, you prick!
Holy fuck, it's going apeshit!
When the story really starts to unfold, every little bit of progression draws you in even deeper until you reach the point of the story where you don't know what's actually going on. Then it starts dangling bits of information in front of you until the plot uppercuts you right in the chin. But by this point, the story has you on a leash and you love it. The music absolutely deserves its own mention. The soundtrack knows exactly when to be eerie, when to build tension, and when to go completely insane during combat. Some boss fights are elevated simply because of the music playing in the background. For my metal enjoyers, this game has some pretty intense songs during the latter half of the story and in certain research facilities. There are some classical masterpieces that enhance some big fights to the point where you will just die to experience the music and fight again. I would like to share some of the score with you in this video, but it is copyrighted music, so you'll just have to play the game to get the full experience. It is one of those soundtracks that sticks with you long after you finish the game. The next reason I want to mention is the fact that the game is complete. One of the best times to jump into Atomic Heart is right now. The base game has been patched and improved, and all of the DLC is available. Instead of waiting months between expansions, you can experience the entire story from beginning to end without interruption. That's a huge advantage for anyone who hasn't played it yet. And to add a cherry on top of being able to play the game in its entirety, you can wait for a Steam sale if you're on PC and get the full game and all of the DLC expansions for up to 75% off of the full price. That's what I did, but the Ultimate Edition can be purchased for about $50, which is worth it in my opinion. Moving on to reason number 6, the character dialogue. Whether you love it or hate it, Atomic Heart has personality, and a lot of games these days lack even an ounce of soul. Most of these AAA publishers are trying to suck every last penny from the consumer. Mundfish created something really special with this one. The conversations between P3 and Charles are actually insightful, sometimes funny, but most important, they are memorable. Then you have Nora, and all I'm going to say is that you just have to play the game to experience that dialogue. This game isn't afraid to lean into its own style, and I actually appreciated that.
Are you planning to disable the Hawk? It isn't responsible for opening the VDNH's doors, you know.
Well, I gotta do something, okay? I'll start with the Hawk. Holy shit, that was insane. You guys seriously got nothing better to do in these labs than make giant killer shrubs?
Speaking of killer shrubs, killing is something you will be doing a lot of in Atomic Heart. So that leads me into my next reason, the combat. Combat gives you a lot of freedom. You can mix melee weapons, firearms, elemental abilities, telekinesis, freezing enemies, and different upgrades to create your own playstyle. As you unlock more abilities, fights become increasingly creative instead of repetitive. Experimenting with different builds is encouraged since you can respec without penalty as much as you want. The DLC also offers a different approach to the choice of abilities in the game. With the soundtrack being so good, it is easy to get lost in major fights because of the engagement and flow of combat. Oh, I jumped too early. Come on, come on, baby. Get out of here, get out of here, scram! Oh my god, he's spinning on it again. I can't, what else? No, get out of here! Help me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, come on, baby. Blade. Oh no, yes. Where you at? Nice, nice, bro. Fuck out of here, dude.
Was that a civilian robot? For real, that thing, a civilian robot.
Stupid ass Beyblade. And that stupid ass Beyblade leads us into reason number 4, the world design. The alternate history Soviet setting is unlike almost anything else. Instead of feeling like another generic sci-fi world, Atomic Heart builds an identity that's instantly recognizable. Every location tells its own story through architecture, enemy design, and environmental details. Exploration constantly rewards your curiosity. Now, the game doesn't force you to upgrade your weapons and loadout, but you can choose to travel to the different research facilities to get your weapon-specific blueprints, to strengthen your arsenal, to better prepare for the harder boss fights. Even if you're playing the game on easy, I recommend exploring just a few of the research facilities just because the puzzles are engaging and a nice dopamine hit when you finally figure them out. Now, this ties in with the world design, but I want to explicitly state it briefly because this game absolutely nails it, which is the atmosphere. One minute you're walking through a beautiful futuristic facility, and the next you're exploring abandoned corridors where something clearly went wrong. It constantly shifts between beauty, horror, mystery, and chaos. That detailed contrast keeps the game feeling fresh throughout the entire experience. So that leads me into reason number 2. It knows exactly what it wants to be. One thing I respect about Atomic Heart is that it fully commits to its identity. It doesn't try to copy every other shooter on the market. It's weird, it's stylish, it's over the top. Sometimes it's a little ridiculous, but all of those choices make it memorable. I'd rather play a game that's confident in its vision than one that plays everything safe. With that being said, that leads me to my number 1 reason I think you should play this game. It's just really fun. At the end of the day, this is the biggest reason. Games are supposed to be fun. Atomic Heart kept me entertained from beginning to end, whether I was fighting giant robots, exploring hidden areas, upgrading weapons, or watching the story unfold. I always wanted to see what came next. No game is perfect. Atomic Heart certainly isn't, but despite its flaws, it's one of the most unique single-player games I've played in recent years. If you've been putting it off because of the mixed opinions online, I genuinely think it's worth giving a shot. Those are my 10 reasons why I think you should play Atomic Heart. If you've already played it, let me know what your favorite part of the game was, or tell me what you disagreed with. I'd love to hear different opinions. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. I usually upload multiple videos every week. Look forward to hearing from you in the comments below.